Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Lovely that you could join me this evening or this afternoon or this morning or wherever you are in the world. Now, it usually takes a little bit for people to jump on. I'm Cheryl Algie from Kerrang in Northern Victoria, Australia. So I just thought I'd go through, and I've just been had a few minutes, so I just had a look on the online store to see what I was going to use to see if it was still available, and it all is. So, and I'll tell you the discounts. The layering circles dies, I think pretty much most of my ladies have got those anyway, but just in case you haven't and you're watching out there, they are these ones. They are retiring. We still do have our stylish shapes which have the circles and the squares, the stitched ones in them, but these have gone down from $61 and they're now $42.70. The DSP that I'm using is the Perfectly Penciled, and it's also still available as I speak, and it's gone from $21 down to $16.80. The only other thing, this is a really quick card tonight, the only other thing I'm using, and I think I'm keeping this one mainly for this happy birthday because I love it and I use it so often, and I don't believe there's anything in the new catalogue that comes close to it. So this stamp set was $30, it's now $23.40, and the Floral Gallery dies, which I'm not using today, but they were $60 and they're now down to $24. So if you like this stamp, I love this stamp set. I just have not given it enough love. I buy too much and therefore I don't get a chance to use everything that I buy. Should be a lesson there somewhere, shouldn't there? Anyone else jumping on yet that I need to say hello to? Hi Diane. Hi Rhonda. Thanks for joining. All right, so Rhonda's already done this spotlight technique, and I was hoping that my next pre-order would get here and I would be able to use a stamp set that I've ordered in that, and I can't tell you or show you what it is because I'm not allowed to. I can show you what I've already got, but look, it's all over Facebook and I'm not going to be doing that tonight because you've seen it elsewhere. I'm sure you've all seen. And the only new thing I have at the moment is the daisies. Oh, I can show you that. Where is it? Do I know where it is? That'll be the next question. Find it. Oh, well, some of those things that are new to me are not new to anybody else, really. I've got the Lighting the Way bundle. I've got the Love for You bundle. These are ones that are going through. So while I could get them as a bundle, I did. I've got the Sea Turtles because I saw Paddy Bennett's tutorial on that with the salt technique, and I thought, if that goes through, I'm getting that, so I did. And this is the only new one that I've got so far, the Cheerful Daisies. I have got more coming, but Australia Post is letting the team down. They advertise that they've got expedited delivery or express, but I ordered on Tuesday and it's still not here. And last week I ordered on Tuesday and it didn't get here before Easter. So anyway, without more of me yapping, and I've spent lots of time labelling all my new inks. I've got all the in colours, the boho blue and the rest of them, all the other in colours, all the cardstock. By the time you do all that, and then I've been cutting up for class, so I've been super busy. Had a lovely catch-up play day with my upline and my downline Monday, Easter Monday, which was lovely. And now I'm going to have to disappear for a second. Where did I put these? So the first thing you do with this technique is to choose where you want to cut. I've done one already, and I used the stitched circles. I thought I might use, to have that higher up, I reckon. I thought I might use that one, and thought I might do something a bit different with this one. I thought I might try and put a, yeah, I think that'll work. We'll see what it looks like. I'll cut them both together. Well, I won't cut them together because they won't both fit. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Just going to put a bit of washi tape disappeared off my desk. I don't know where that went to. Oh, there it is, down the bottom. I pinched one from over on my Big Shot. Not my Big Shot, my die cutting machine. Now, is that the right way up? I think it is. I don't think it matters. With this, you probably need a, well, you don't need a directional. I'll show you the ones I've done. You can use a stamp set, which I've done. Just using this to show you what to do. If you've never done it before, I've never done this before. Because I'll go through the stamp sets that I've used. I've used a couple of them, and I've used some paper with that. It takes a while to colour in, whereas this one, this is why I chose this one, won't take very long at all, hopefully. So while I'm over at the die cutting machine, would you like to choose what colour you would like me to do the flowers? I was having a think. I thought we could use the new Berry Burst and the new, well, it's not new to a lot of you because we've had it before, but that's probably the only bright that I can think of that would be nice to do the flowers with. We've got the Azure Afternoon. We could do blue if you want, but I don't know how that'll look with the Lemon Lime Twist. I was going to use that for the, and I have not, I'll just tell you. Yeah, that's Lemon Lime Twist. I reckon that with Berry Burst. If you have a preference for another colour, please let me know. So I've put my names on them all, and yeah, tedious, but now they're all done. What was I going to tell you? Oh, yes. I purchased a download for, I haven't got around to doing it. Rhonda was a bit cross with me because it was, I can't remember who she was. Was it the Paper Pixie? Anyway, nothing against her, but I paid $12 for this. And unless you've got the 3/8 inch punch, this was in a, I'll never get rid of this. This was in a 3 set, I'm pretty sure, of, I think there was a little flower and something or other else. You can't buy it from Stampin' Up anymore, but you may have. So that just fits perfectly. Poor Rhonda downloaded it. Yeah, I'll finish what I was saying. Don't get it from the person. Now, who was it? Yeah, it was the Paper Pixie. Get it from Ange, what the heck is her name? I'll pop a link on my blog because she's doing the same thing, but you get it for free. This cost me $12. So, but unless you've got the punch, maybe it's not something you'd want. My dear Rhonda, she fussy cut all of these, and she's done all hers. I've got the punch, and I've done 2. I've done my Azure Afternoon, and that's all, because I wanted to get cut up for class. I really was on a mission, and I wanted to get that done, and that was just a sideline. So there's just some information there. If you search on YouTube, you'll probably find the other girl, Angie. She does lots of boxes and things. Anyone know who I'm talking about? Well, she's giving you the same thing for free. I'm just going to duck over here to the die cutting machine and cut these 2 out. that's that done. We may use that. We might decide we don't want to use that, but I just thought I'd just try and do something different. Chicken scratch. Thanks, Rhonda. Yeah, I paid too. Yeah, so we shouldn't have had to pay, really. But some people don't like to give you things. They like you to pay. Anyway, that's their prerogative. At least they're giving you, well, they're letting you have something, aren't they? I can't choose my words. So, yeah, no, you know what I mean. They're putting it out there, so you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. You just go without. So then, what did you reckon, guys? Will we do? Let's find a piece of that that's already got. Oh, I don't have to do the leaves by the looks. No, I don't have to do the leaves. So, do we want to do the blue or do we want to do the Berry Burst? I could show you what the colours were, couldn't I? Let's do that. So this is, if I had my labels on, I would know. This is light, your afternoon. And that's the dark, and this is, oops, I'm at the other end of that. This is the Berry Burst, which is very bright, and I think that's the, I can tell by the barrels that's the. So which one, guys? Do we want blue flowers or do we want pink flowers? And have I got this in the right spot? Can you see what I'm doing? I'm sorry about the grotty paper, but because the blue, okay, we'll do blue because we haven't had blue before. This blue, have we? We had Pacific Point, which was similar, but we didn't have a. That's very distracting, isn't it? I'm just gonna quickly do this. You don't have to be too pedantic. Yeah, so Rhonda and I have had a lovely afternoon again. We've been very social this week. Been busy, but we've been very social. We met my downline, Eva, who we've never met before. Eva comes from a suburb in Melbourne, and she's up here going to Swan Hill for the week. So we had a coffee at Shamana's this afternoon and a catch-up, well, more than a catch-up, a meeting with Eva and her husband, which was lovely. That's the thing about Stampin' Up. It's more about making friends, making contacts, and networking. Was a lot of Stampin' Up talk, but that was all right. Her hubby seemed to be okay with that, so all good. That's a pretty colour. So we're hoping that they have nice weather in Swan Hill. I'm just doing these one by one so that the be interesting, so that the when I use the light, it'll hopefully blend in better if it's wet. Somebody I was watching this morning said hardly ever watch anyone's whole video unless I want to know a technique or something. She said don't open them. Oh, it might have been Angie. Said don't open your blends over your paper, but I haven't found that that's the case. I guess they might be all different. Might just do this little bit here because he's only a little bit. I'll just use the tip end of this. So you could imagine if I was doing a whole big sheet of colouring, how long it would take, and I've got to try and take it a bit slow. You could do this with your pencils too. so that I don't go out of the lines and mess it all up. And I'll explain. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you've only got a small section of what's what. This is pretty easy compared to the other ones that I did. So that's good that I saved it for tonight. You don't want to be sitting here while I colour, do you? Well, some people don't mind, but you've probably got better things to do at this time of the night than sit and watch someone colour. And normally I would have done this before going live, but as you can see, I couldn't know exactly where I was going to cut it out, could I? I'm not that clever. What's everyone having for tea tonight? Or dinner? Do you call it dinner or do you call it tea? It's always called, I grew up on a farm near Sea Lake, or just out of Sea Lake, and my mum and dad called the lunchtime, what we call it lunch, they called that dinner, and they called tea time meal tea. And I guess that's always stuck with me. It depends what you got brought up with, what you were brought up with, doesn't it? Now, I'm not quite sure what those are, but I think they're flowers because the leaves are all black. So we're just going to just do that. Now, I might have to put that back in there to see what that is. Get rid of that because that's too distracting. Just see whether I need to. Now the next thing is to line this back up. That's not right. Oh, don't tell me we've got to go round and round the mulberry bush. That should, yeah, that's right. Should go there, and I think, which one didn't I colour fully? Oh yeah, I've done that pretty much. Yeah, I should have. Oh, I've got a bit of ink there. Never mind. It's quite plain, isn't it? That's unexpected, so maybe we do need this. Just going to watch where I've got that. I've seen some people have done this technique and they've put a circle in behind there. I don't know if I'm liking that. Maybe be better with a straight edge. What do you reckon? Probably a bit hard for you to see. I think I like it better without it. Because it, making sure that's right now. Things like that, so it goes in there exactly. And I'm just wondering if I might like to colour the background. I think I will, but I think I'm going to cheat and be lazy and do it with Pool Party with a sponge. Seeing as it's blue, green might have been better, but I don't want you sitting here while I do a whole, a whole section that in green. That just might make it pop a bit against the whiteness of the other piece, if that makes sense. And they used to say blue and green should never be seen, whereas if I did green, I'd have to sit here with the blends and just do that, which wouldn't take long, but just, I think you get the idea. Doing that, and that's, see, that's probably better. Now I've moved that again. fiddle around the way it's meant to go. Which is there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. It's a bit more striking, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, she read my mind. She's good. Okay, I think I want my... I think with my other one I popped it up on a piece of, another piece of black, but I'm going rogue tonight and I'm not going to do that. Just hoping I get this straight. My biggest challenge at the moment. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And grab some dimensionals. These are black ones. Often don't think to use the black ones. Actually, I might put them in here. And it might be easier to get this lined up if I don't have sticky on it. That makes sense, because I can spin it around without sticking it down. Okay. If I get it lined up on that flower there. Come on. That's better. There we go. And I have already, put those away, I need them again. I've already heat embossed that happy birthday that I showed you before. I don't always do these before I go live, but for a busy day or a busy week, I thought I'd already had one in my little pile that I've showed you before, so I thought, well, that one will do. And you have all seen me heat emboss. Now, I just felt that it just needed a bit of this. So, I didn't cut a bit of, so for the inside I would just cut a bit of the DSP, obviously. I was half asleep when I did that, because I haven't. Probably doesn't really need ribbon, but everything's always better with ribbon, isn't it? Probably too much there. And yeah, I should have probably put that underneath there, but the DSP is a bit sort of thin and fiddly sometimes to do that with. Now just make sure that's not twisted on the other side. If you can see what I'm doing, move that over, because you can't. I like to have that really tight without bending the card, and I put those tweezers there. Fuss with your ribbon. I use the same format sort of thing for my other card I did earlier as well. I'm not going to fossick around and get the DSP out, because I think you can imagine. I'll show you what I did on the other one. Was that a bit crooked? Might help if I took the back off that, mightn't it? So I'll show you what I did on the other one. And we just need some black or, yeah, black I think. Oh, I have got some new little dots. I haven't got that colour though, or have I? No, these are her blue. These are the in colour ones. Let's just see what they look like against this blue. No. Different shade. So they're the new, what are they called? In colour dots. And these ones are the ones that go with the daisy set. Okay. So I might just go with, oh, we could do pearls. These ones are going out. That's what I'm thinking. We could do these blue ones, but we could colour them with our blends. That's what I did for one of my other cards too. Has that got a sticky? Yep. So I'm going to use my bullet end, because they say that if you use your, because this is a brand new blend, they say if you use your other end, it blunts the tip, so I don't want to do that. So it shouldn't blunt this one, I don't think. Got to make sure I get that coloured. So it's best to do this before you put it on your card. As you can see, you don't want to colour onto your card. I'll just push that over a little bit so I can get to the edges of it. So I think the blue on these is a bit light for the card. I could have just gone with it, but why not make it all azure afternoon? We've had an azure afternoon. I don't know what azure means really, but haven't we, Rhonda? And I have actually labelled those ones. See? My two that I've done. It's a really pretty colour. So while that's, you've got to let it sit for a little bit. So I'll put that on. I'll show you my other samples. So again, using this paper, I've used the stitched ones out of the Stylish Shapes, and I've used, what have I used? I think that was Poppy Parade, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, and Daffodil Delight. And on the inside I've used another piece, and I've coloured that as well, which I will do with a piece of that later as well. And I did the same. I was keen, wasn't I? I did the same on the envelope. I didn't look this one up to see if it's still there, and because it was just a sample, I've got 2 rolls of this black and white string we had a couple of years ago, so I've just used that in preference to the ribbon because this is retiring, and so I just thought I'd just use that. So that's stamping and doing the same idea. This one was a bit tricky. So this is the Misty Moonlight, which has returned or is returning in May. So I've done the stamp I used last week, In the Moment. I've done and I found that really tricky to work out which bits I was colouring and which bits to leave blank. And so I've left that blank and that blank because, because I didn't think to colour it, and I don't think it needs to be coloured. Probably should have coloured this bit here though, maybe. Oh well. And that turned out really cute. I really enjoyed doing that, but it was tedious to colour. I had to keep looking at the stamp set to see which bits to colour, and I think I'm going to leave it as is. And I've used the Radiating Stitches dies to make her a little window, and also to do the sentiment as well. So let's go back to our gems and see if they're dry. I think, yep. Just see where to put these. I'll put one up there. I'll just give this DSP a bit of life. It's a bit boring, isn't it, when it's not coloured? So there's that one. And we've got that one. And that one. And that one. I hope you enjoyed that technique. What do you think, guys? You like those? Can't see the top of the card. Which ones? Let me just pull these down. And I seem to be over to one side too much too. There we go, I'll show you those. Down a bit. And then I'll push these ones up in a minute so you can see them. So then, push these ones up and these ones up. Down a bit. Thanks, Di. Okay. Well, I will see you all next Thursday afternoon, hopefully. Okay, bye-bye.